Spirit Airlines is a company that needs no introduction. Over the years, Spirit has played a key role in revolutionizing low-cost air travel in the United States, and itself has become the largest ultra-low-cost carrier in the country. Today's journey brings me back on board Spirit after almost 4 years, flying from Chicago directly south to New Orleans, and as an added bonus, I'll be seated in the exit row for the first time in my life. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this comprehensive review on board Spirit Airlines, from the Windy City down to the Crescent City. We pick up today's video right where we left off last week at the Metra O'Hare transfer station. I've just arrived here on the first northbound train of the day coming from Chicago Union Station. O'Hare Transfer is served by the Metra North Central service, which only operates on weekdays. That's pretty unfortunate, as Metra is, in my opinion, the easiest and fastest way to get from O'Hare to downtown Chicago. Not to mention, it's twice as fast and a lot less sketchy than the CTA Blue Line. The Metra station is located right across the street from O'Hare's new multimodal facility, and after an easy 5-minute walk, I'm already headed inside and up the escalator to catch the ATS train over to Terminal 3. After a very crowded train ride over, I'm now headed directly to the security checkpoint as I had already checked in online. Now, whenever you fly Spirit, always be sure to check in online and either have your boarding passes printed out or on your mobile device, because being a budget airline, Spirit will charge you $10 to print out your boarding passes at the airport. Airports are absolutely packed this summer, as you can see here. Regardless, I cleared the security check in about 10 minutes, which was a huge relief. Now, Spirit Airlines is an ultra-low-cost airline, and naturally that means they charge for most things that other airlines do not. So let's quickly talk about the fees that most passengers end up paying when they fly with Spirit. Do keep in mind, the prices do vary based on the date and flight that you're taking. So first of all, Spirit has a priority line at security checkpoints, and on my ticket, the price to purchase priority security was $6 per person each way, and it was a similar price for priority boarding as well. When talking about luggage, Spirit allows each passenger to bring on board one personal item for free. This includes backpacks, purses, and anything that's within the dimensions of 18 inches by 14 inches by 8 inches. Moving on to carry-on bags and check bags, these always require a fee, and the price also varies. As an example, here are the bag prices for the 4:30 p.m. Spirit flight from Chicago to New Orleans on August 19th. As you can see, paying for the bags while booking your flight through the Spirit website is the cheapest option, otherwise they get way more expensive later on. Keep in mind, this is just one way, so you'd also have to pay a similar price for the flight back to Chicago. Paying for bags round trip alone could set you back hundreds of dollars, so be sure to keep this in mind when booking with Spirit. Spirit also charges money to reserve a seat online, otherwise you could get a seat assigned to you for free at check-in. But if you want to reserve a seat, the prices again also vary. On this flight, for instance, regular seats were in the range of $14 to $18. The exit row seats were $20 and the big front seats were $40. Again, these are the prices per person each way. There are other fees on Spirit as well, but we'll talk about those later on.
Don't put that damn thing on his neck.
Today's aircraft features the older cabin, and the seats themselves are quite basic. Here in the exit row, the tray table has a placard on it detailing on how to open the exit door in case of an emergency. Below that is a pretty large seat pocket with a safety card, air sickness bag, and refreshments menu. Spirit advertises their exit row seats as having 10 or more inches of extra legroom as compared to their standard seats, and you can clearly see that here. Above each seat are personal reading lights, air vents, and call buttons, and I'm happy to report that no, you don't have to pay extra to use these. Something else worth mentioning about the exit row seats is that the seatbelts are actually filled with airbags, and I assume that's primarily for safety reasons. Furthermore, the window shades on the exit doors actually close from bottom up, unlike regular windows, and I'm not sure why, so if anyone knows the reason, please leave me a comment. Finally, row 13 actually has another window directly next to the seat, which is nice, since you don't have to lean forward to look out of the exit door window.
Time to get my business. He got the video business today, though.
The seats on Spirit Airlines, as I'm sure you're aware, do not recline. Most of the seats also have fixed tray tables, however the ones in the exit row actually have tables that extend out towards you. Spirit also does not serve any complimentary refreshments, so I had actually bought some snacks in the airport beforehand. Ironically enough, the prices to buy snacks and drinks on Spirit are very similar and, in some cases, cheaper than what you would pay to buy them at the airport. The selection is also pretty good, nothing crazy but at the same time not too bad. Spirit also recently retrofitted their planes with in-flight Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, it wasn't working on this flight, but the prices are $6.99 for internet access and $8.99 for streaming entertainment. Now, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've probably heard about Spirit's upcoming takeover by JetBlue. If this goes through, the two airlines will combine to become the 5th largest airline in the US. And I honestly don't know what to think of this merger because both airlines are just so different. Although I'm curious to hear what you think in the comments below. Now, in terms of comfort, I didn't think these seats were all that bad. Although something that is pretty annoying is that there's some sort of metal bar close to where you'd place your head, and you can feel it really easily too. So if you're sensitive about those things, that's just something to keep in mind. After a rather uneventful flight, we soon began our descent into Louisiana. We passed over Mandeville, Lake Pontchartrain, and directly parallel to the Causeway Bridge before coming straight into land on runway 20 right into an oncoming storm system. So, Spirit Airlines, are they really that bad? Well, as you could hopefully tell by my experience today, no, not really. I would say that as long as you're aware of everything Spirit charges extra for, and as long as you do everything the airline recommends to avoid incurring extra fees, you really have nothing to worry about when it comes to flying them. Spirit is actually my most flown low-cost carrier, and I've now taken 7 flights with them, including this one. Based on my experience today, I will surely consider them for future travels. Thank you so very much for coming along with me today. Stay tuned for next week's trip report where I'll be flying Spirit back to Chicago in their standard seat offering. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel so you never miss any new exciting videos. With that being said, take care everyone, and I'll catch you all next time.